So hopefully this time it will work because I have rigged um, going on live. I don't know what's going on with my computer. I had my microphone and everything ready, and it didn't want to work. And I kept doing testing, and so hopefully you can hear me. But I came on because I wanted to share my thoughts on Married at First Sight. This, what season is this? I'm not even sure. What season is this? Um, 17. This is season 17. So I've been watching since the first year, the first season. And I actually, for those who don't know who I am, let me just give you a quick review of who I am and why I think I deserve to have an opinion, just like everybody else. So I am married, and I've been married for 16 years now. And so I'm a little bit more seasoned. And when it comes to things of marriage, hold on one second, guys, because I know. Sorry, I had to text my son something real quick because I know that's him. But so, yeah, I've been married for 16 years, my husband and I started watching Married at First Sight season one. And the reason why I started watching it was because of my best friend who told me I needed to watch it because one of the young ladies on the first season looked like my sister in law. So I was like, okay. And then I got hooked with Jamie and Doug. This year, this Married at First Sight season, everybody, I mean, anybody who's been watching it, this was the most unbearable cast. Um, Typically, you would have like one, maybe two, maybe one couple that you don't like or whatever, but this entire cast was not good. I'm trying to keep it classy. Um, the reason why I say that because as a viewer, you I knew personal I could see every person that I said, oh, I hope they don't pick that person. I hope they don't pick that person. They pick that person. So I don't know if it's production and casting, but this was the worst cast. No offense to you guys, but it was the worst. It was the worst experience. I just could not wait until the season was over because that's how bad it was. Um, so yeah, my thoughts. So from the beginning, every person I said I don't think they should be picked. I knew for certain that Emily should not have been picked because Emily, why would you pick somebody who has never been in a serious relationship? So that means that they are not mature enough to navigate situations that come up in a relationship, period. Boyfriend girlfriend relationship, let alone a husband and wife. I believe that none of those cast members, not one of them, really understood or cared about the purpose of what marriage is all about. I don't believe any of the guys liked the girls. None of them were attracted to them. And they should have, they, okay, this is my thought. None of the guys were attracted to the women. And they expressed that to production. And production, my thoughts are production knew that it was going to be that none of the guys liked them, and so they knew that it would be a horrible season. You already had Michael who got left at the altar, so the season was done before it started. um, so I think that's the reason why Cameron and Brennan particularly did not I mean, had this plan or whatever to make it, stick it out, make it seem like they were somewhat interested in their spouses when they really weren't. We all knew it. We all could see it. Um, I'm trying to look at the cast because some of the people, their names are. That's how terrible this season was. I cannot remember everybody's name. Uh, Hold on. My phone, of course. Why is it doing this? It's doing some weird stuff. So we have Emily and Brennan, and then you had Cameron and I was gonna say Chloe. If I could type. Sorry, guys. All right, so yes, Austin and Becca. Let me start with them. So I thought they were cute, but I did not believe that they were equally yoked. I didn't think you could tell that they're, because I'm a person of faith, I'm a Christian, and it's difficult when it's a person that has a completely different viewpoint. It's one thing to say, yeah, I believe in God, I'm a Christian, or yeah, I believe in God and I'm Muslim, but for a person to say, I'm not even quite sure if God even exists or this thing even exists, that's very difficult. Marriage is difficult enough, but then adding that onto it, that was a recipe for disaster. And I don't know why Pastor Cal thought that that was something that we wanted to see. That was not fair to Austin, and it wasn't uh, fair to Becca. Becca had just had surgery, so she was going through her own personal things. And I sympathize with her regarding that because I've been there. So to add on to that, and so it's a lot of emotions. And one thing she did point out, she said that she has suffered with chronic pain, and nobody really understand that when you're in have when you have chronic pain, you're very short tempered and you're very sensitive, and it's hard for you to process certain things at times. So my heart went out to Becca regarding that. But this whole ladies crew click thing, it was horrible. Um, but let me not go down that road yet because I want to continue on with the others. So you have Austin and Becca. Austin was just not into her like that. And I don't know if Austin's into anybody like that. Sorry. Sorry, Austin. You're a cool dude, but I don't know. I just don't know. Um, Orion and Lauren. I did not believe that they would. I didn't think that they would match. I did not see why they thought that she would match with him because her energy level, I'm going to say this in the loving way, but she had more masculinity than he did. And yeah, I get where they were trying to go with this, with the whole she's black, she's suffered, her people have suffered, and he's an indigenous person, and his people have most certainly suffered, and so out of that suffering they could come together and be one. But no, it needed to be more than that. Um, because if that's the case, you could put two black people together and just two random black people and think, oh, you could, because we both come from, our historically speaking, suffering, that means that we're automatically, um, we automatically have chemistry and whatever. So I just think that that was a horrible, yeah. So Orion and Lauren was a terrible match from the beginning. They should have matched her with somebody who was stronger and would be able to handle her. And I don't mean handle her in a put her in check type of situation. But when you have an alpha type of female and have that type of energy, and then Orion was just all over the place. He didn't like her, so he was coming up with every reason in the world. Although I must say, Lauren was doing her thing before the experience happened, and she's a grown woman, and that's her choice to do it. And it's his choice to say, I don't want to be involved. But that was a scapegoat. We all know, Ryan, you just wasn't into her. So we also have, so Michael. Michael, I was just like, I was rooting for you. You know what I mean? When you were left at the altar and you were crying, I cried. I was mad. I was mad at the girl. I was about to, like, you are just wrong. You knew what you were signing up for. So why did you go through this whole process and wait until you walk down the aisle and see him, and then was like, no? But I think Michael is a sweetheart. He's an intellectual. I always have a soft spot for people who are intellectuals. Don't know why. Maybe because I birthed a couple of them and I'm married to one. But him and Chloe, I didn't think they matched. I don't know what were they thinking with matching these people? But it's like Chloe is so sophisticated, but she had, her heart's desire is to adopt and have all these animals, and he's just a totally different vibe from her. So I don't understand why they thought that would work. It just didn't work. It just did. Opposites attract, but it's got to be something there, a baseline. Like my husband and I, we are so opposite in a lot of ways, but our base things are there. So where he is different in this area and I'm different in that area, that common structure for us is Christ. So we have that, if nothing else. And then and then I have my interests and he has his, and his likes and my dislikes, and my political thoughts and his political thoughts can vary. But we still have something here that we can come together. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? Anyway, that was a whole bunch of hot mess. I'm trying to breathe, y'all, because I'm very passionate about this. I don't know why. I'm passionate about my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, my man, my children, homeschooling them, or if I decide not to, with their education, my family. There's a lot of things, but I don't know why Married at First Sight is one of those things that I'm passionate about, but I am. So I'm trying to come to you from a perspective, like I said, as a viewer, but as a woman that's been married for 16 years and had my fair share of cray-cray moments, because there's not, only God has kept us together, because I've had my cray-cray moments. And I appreciate that the Lord blessed me with a man that could deal with me, because I'm a lot to deal with. But anyway, so we went through Orion and Lauren. We talked about Emily and Austin. No. We touched briefly on Emily and Brennan, but I need to go back to them. We talked about Austin and Becca. And let's talk about Claire and Cameron. So my thoughts were initially, Claire was not interested in Cameron. Cameron seemed, proceed from the first, the wedding day, that he thought she was beautiful. And I could tell, sorry, this is my phone. Again, he's an intellectual. He's more reserved on expressing his emotions. And, there's another thing, again, that they have such opposites when it comes to, their faith or the lack thereof. That is Married at First Sight producers. Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, and the other lady, I can't think of her name, or anybody in the future. Quit connecting or coupling people who do not line when it comes to their faith. There's so much people have to deal with, married people have to deal with on a regular basis. That should not be one of the main issues. That is a recipe for disaster. I would much rather you have, and it doesn't mean that they're going to work, because we've seen a lot of quote unquote Christians not work. Most of them didn't actually. But what I'm saying is, it is, wow, most of them didn't work. Yeah, that's bad. But anyway, but that just adds on to it. That's just drama we don't want to hear about. We don't want to see. And I think they just like casting narcissist people. That's not hot. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see. Okay, let me go back because I can go all over the place. Um, so Claire and Cameron. I think Claire, how do I say this in the nicest way that I can? I don't care how depressed, whatever mental things I had going on, I would never have her as my therapist, because I don't know what that lady, God bless all of those, all of her patients. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm really not trying to be rude. And I mean this in peace and love, but this was not a good look for you. And I would have, let me take that back. I don't mean to be rude. I don't want to be rude to you, Claire, and and talk about your profession. But this did not look good for you, baby. It did not. It did not. It did not. And you trying to bring all the women together to come up against the men, and you lie, and it was just like on cue, you and Emily, and it was those tears. I was like, there, I'm not falling for it. It did not look good. It did not look good. It did not feel good. I truly believe that you did not like Cameron, and you talked to Cameron, and you guys made, I believe that you all had a conversation, and then you two decided how you all were going to go about it. Um, yeah, I think you're a narcissist, Claire. I'm sorry. You should not. Anyway, I'm going to stop. I wish you well, girlfriend, but this was a bad look for you and your career. As far as this made me say, this is why I don't go to therapy, because these people just as crazy as I am, if not worse. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. I'm being serious. But okay. So we've talked about, and Cameron, when I was like, you haven't told your father that you were getting married? You haven't talked to your parents? And then he was like, yeah, my father's dying. I mean, he was just nonchalant. He had no. I was like, are you alive? Are you human? Where's the humanity in this? Um, this was just a bad match. I just cannot believe that they said, I'm gonna take this bad match and I'm gonna add another bad match, and then I'm gonna triple a bad match, and I'm gonna quadruple this. I mean, it was just a hot, boiling, funky mess from beginning to end, each and every last one of those. I've never come on here or anywhere and really talked about Married at First Sight. Even when Chris was cutting up and acting like a complete fool, I had my fair share of, I wanted to go off, but I just kept it to myself. But I just had to come on and vent about this season. I wasted my time. I don't know if I'm going to watch next season, because I have other things to do in my life than watch that funky, boiling mess of a show. Like, it has to be revamped. Get rid of whoever did the casting. Pastor Cal, you need to do something. I don't know. Somebody needs to do something. You know what? This is what I said, and I posted this on Jamie's Instagram. I said I think her and Doug should come on as like um, what did I say? Like advisors, not necessarily picking the couples, but to have somebody who's seasoned, who has experienced it, who experienced, the good, the bad, and the ugly on camera, and be able to, hone them in and be that couple that won't necessarily take the side. Because if you have the, I love Dr. Pepper and the other lady, Dr. Pia, yeah, but I think they just automatically pick the women's side. And Pastor Cal, he gonna automatically pick women's side, which I'm all for it. Rah rah rah, women, yeah yeah yeah. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. And these women were wrong. They had the funkiest attitudes. They were just nasty. I was like, y'all want to talk about toxic masculinity, but what you are given is something. I see why men these days don't want to approach women if this is what they have to deal with. I'm so grateful to God that I am married because I don't want to deal with this mess. Oh, those women were toxic. They were even, and Emily was like an imp. I'm not trying to say that you're an imp, Emily, but that's how you were acting. You were just like, and I heard, and so, and my best friend, cousin, uncle, granddaddy told me that so and so said da da da. And I'm like, what? And so you were breaking up, even though they weren't really together, but you were going through all those motions. Girl, get your life together. Oh, man, y'all irritate my soul. But past Dr. All y'all, Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pia, that needs to be switched because that's not working for me. Bring in Jamie and Doug, and bring in Keisha and her husband. I don't think, but I like that man because he was keeping it real. He was letting them know, yeah. I like them two together. I really like. They need some couples. Put me on there. I'll get them together, baby. But anyway, just kidding. Um, so I talked about Chloe and Michael, Austin and Becca. Let's go back to this girl, Emily. Emily, I don't know why. I said this before, but I need to say about 1,000 more times. Why on earth would you cast a woman, a grown woman, who has never been in a relationship, a serious relationship in her life? And she's 30. Look, I'm all like, in her life? And she's 30? This woman acted like she acted like my 9-year-old son. I think my 9-year-old son is more mature than she is. Well, her face is. I was like, are we serious? Are we in elementary school? Not even middle school. Definitely not high school. And I see why, baby girl. You equate somebody saying that you're beautiful as your value and your worth. But that's not it. Because a man will say that you're beautiful. I'm not judging you. But why is it that you think it's okay or promote the fact that you have these one night stands and, you know, guys will date you for a couple of dates and then get rid of you? A pastor. So I was a hot mess one day years ago. And I remember going to church and the pastor said, if it's the same present wrapped up in a different package, it's not them, it's you. And that hurt my heart. That was like a boom. It felt like somebody drop kicked me. It felt like Bruce Lee did one of his kung fu kicks to my chest. It felt like Bruce Lee kicked me in my chest. But I needed that. Now I needed that wake up call. Being serious. I was like, oh, When you realize it's you and not them, because there's something about you that is attracting these type of people. And I'm here to tell you, Emily, it's not them, it's you, baby girl. And you need to grow up. And your value is not in this or in the other parts of your body. Your value is who you are at the core. And I can see why Brennan said that you were negative. Because you were, baby. You were like, I'm the most positive person in ever. And then as soon as somebody says something, you gotta have a little bit of hate. I'm like, who are you? What are we doing? Why? It was so, I felt so bad for Chloe because it just felt like when they entered in the room, demonic spirits came in. I'm not trying to be extra, but that's how it felt like, because they were just, that hatred was just so strong. And I'm like, are, really? And then you're going to say, oh, I'm just such a damsel in distress. And Cameron came up with this whole idea and I didn't know what to do. Cameron, you're not even married to Cameron. So how does he have power over you? Are you that weak? And then you're going to turn around and say, I'm a strong woman and I'm wearing my pink and we're in pink unity and girl power. And girl, you got it. Girl, you got it going on. I was like, are you serious? Are we serious? Is this, I'm not being punked. There's no way this is a real season. Emily, girl, again, I say this with peace and love. Take time for yourself. Do some self-reflecting. Yeah, Brennan was a jerk. We know this. We all witnessed that he was a jerk. But girlfriend, I can't promise you that I wouldn't act the same way with you. The way how you was acting. Like, I mean, from the beginning, you were just, your energy is off. Ooh, please. Y'all need some prayer. Y'all need some prayer. Y'all need to put on some Fred Ham. Y'all need, something need to go down, because what y'all were doing, it was too much. So we get to the, what is it called? Oh my gosh. So we finally get to the reunion. My brain just went blah, blah. So we finally get to reunion. And again, it was nothing but the hatred being spewed between, for the women, from the women towards the men. And not nan woman took responsibility for their actions. And it's all the men's fault. And Cameron got it going on because he got some kind of superpower that he has the ability to not only pull the strings for Claire, but he can pull Becca's strings. He can pull, what's that child name? Emily strings. He can do Lauren. And why was Lauren so mad? Lauren, you haven't been around since episode 3. Why are you so invested in this? Why must you have this much energy? We know Orion was not into you. Orion might be into something else. But he wasn't into you and you weren't into him. But Lauren, the way that you came off was just so, yeah. Anyway, so we have Lauren, who was coming at Cameron like, oh, I haven't went in on you. And blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, my husband's teasing. Bless you. I'm just like, what is going on here? And then I noticed, and other people have witnessed it, Emily, Kevin, and Keisha are sweet and nice. And that's the thing that we have to do. We have to keep our cool. But I can't, girl, you better watch how you talk to folk. Because you were snappy with Keisha. That's Keisha Knight Pulliam. And I forgot her last name because she's married now. That's Rudy. You don't get rude with Rudy. How dare you? Do you know who you're talking to? That's Rudy. Being rude to Rudy is not good. So you're on my list, Emily. And then you were real snappy with Kevin too. We noticed those two who you were snappy with. Girl, you better get it together because you're going to snap at the wrong one. And they're not going to be as professional as those two. And I'm saying this in peace and love. Again, look at me as your Auntie Nikki, who wants to come on and just tell you guys how to get your life together. And I want to say this in closing. I don't know if this is closing or not, but it's closing. It's my first close. Marriage is hard. Marriage is hard work. And it's not some reality show. So if you're going on saying that you want to get married, but in all actuality, what you want to do is get your Instagram followers, your TikTokers up. You want to have more doors of opportunity opened up for you for your professional life. You guys don't really respect the sanctity of marriage. So don't come on. If you're going to come on and bring this extra drama and all this stuff and toxicity, stay away from my show. Now, I hardly watch any shows. That's why I'm ticked off again, too. Because most of my shows are either have went so crazy or they've been canceled. So only have a handful of shows. Y'all really don't want... It's like God doesn't want me to watch any TV anymore. I can't watch anything because every time I look up, somebody has made me mad. But I do like to talk about it and equate it into real life situations. So if you are a person who is single and believing to be married, here's some of my suggestions. Watch season 17 of Married at First Sight Denver and do the complete opposite of each and every last one of them. Don't do it. And for future Married at First Sight, I want to say contestants, cast members, be open and honest of what you are attracted to. We don't care if you like blonde women with blonde hair and blue eyes. We don't care if you like girls with afros, or we don't care if you like them small or medium or curvy. Tell them what you're attracted to, because you're wasting their time. You wasted that woman's time that they pair you up with, and you're wasting my time. And I don't have a lot of time. I should be doing something else with my life. I know I need to be wiping down some doors or something in my house, doing some laundry, but here I am fussing on YouTube about Married at First Sight. So, yeah, make sure if you're going to go on Married at First Sight or any of these, because, some of the things I watch Married at First Sight. I used to watch, what is it called? 90 Day Fiance, but they've gotten so crazy and it's so scripted. It's just not even it's just unbearable to watch. And that was my favorite. So, and then Love is Blind. So I might come back on and talk about Love is Blind because that's my new joint. And yeah, I've had a lot to say about them too. If you're on any of these shows that talk about marriage, and Married at First Sight is coming to my city. It's coming to Detroit. And I am going to have to fast and pray because I know it's going to be a hot boiling mess. I know it. I know my people going to do some stuff that I'm going to be like, why did you do that? So y'all pray for me already because yes, I'm going to watch it. And what does this have to do with Jesus? I know most people saying, you're supposed to be saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, lifting me up and encouraging me. And talking about the Lord. I do love the Lord, and I love the fact that I could be me, and then I can tell y'all about yourself. All right, so that's it, I think. Um, yeah, and then Emily talking about Cameron used his heart issue as an excuse. He should have got from getting his chest opened up and getting shocked back to life. Okay, so according to Emily, he was supposed to get shocked back to life 3 times. Sew back up and willed himself to the bar to be there for Claire. What? Who are these women? Where did you find? I never want to visit Denver. There's something in the air, something in the water, something is going on in Denver. I don't even want to fly across Denver. I don't know, it's the altitude that's got everybody cray cray, or everybody's, recreational participation. Something is not right. Don't ever go back to Denver. Don't go to Colorado. Don't even go next door to Colorado. Don't go over there. Don't go. Mm-mm. I don't want to watch any. And then you mean to tell me that was not one black man in Denver? Like none? That's a whole nother story. All right. I gotta go. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep this up. I can't believe I said all that. I am going to be in trouble if my husband ever watches this. But I had to be honest. I had to be me and just come on and share my thoughts. And hopefully the next time I come on, it'll be a better situation. I guess I'm gonna have to get a webcam or something. But I really would like to periodically, and I'm so sure you heard all of the noise from all these cars zooming by. But anyway, but I would like to come on periodically and just give my thoughts on certain things. You're not going to agree with everything. That's fine. So write your little comments, say what you want to say. It's a free world. Do not hurt my feelings. Um, if I hurt yours, I really didn't mean to hurt your feelings. That is not my intent. But I just had to be honest. And those women on Married at First Sight were just evil. They were just evil. And I'm not making excuses for the men because the men are weak. They were weak sauce. They should have just been honest. And Brennan with his whole, I'm trying to protect you. No, you're not. You're trying to protect your image. And then you still look like a whole nutty bar. You and that woman. I don't know what to say. These people done really got me revved up. I'm scribbling and everything on this piece of paper for no reason at all. But again, hopefully I'll come back on in a better situation with a better setup to talk about some things, just chat with you guys. And there's going to be a new Married at First Sight. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch. We shall see. We'll see. We'll see. But if I do, I'll come on and give you my thoughts. All right. And I don't even know how to get out of this thing because I'm doing it from my iPad instead of my computer. Yes, I want to end. All right, guys. Hey, before I close, now I know how to do it. I need you guys to give me your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share your thoughts. Let me know. I don't care. You won't hurt my feelings if you think I'm being a little too judgy. But I'm just trying to tell you guys from a woman who's been married for 16 years and who's been watching since season 1, my viewpoints, and it was a whole bunch of boiling, funky mess. So, like and subscribe.